What's going on, everybody? My name is Ben, and welcome back to the bench for a brand new episode here on our F3H Demon. As you can see, we are back after missing last week's episode. We are going to be doing some work here today, guys. I'm hoping to jump into the cockpit and get that finished up, get that enclosed in the nose, even add in some seatbelts, add in some nose weight, get this thing looking a little bit closer to a demon. That's going to be fun. Now, we're going to go ahead and start also with the cockpit instrument panel shroud that covers the very top of the instrument panel below the windscreen. There are a couple of missing details here in the kit that I want to go ahead and try to add in, and you can see one of them is a gun sight. Kind of hard to see, and I don't have any references other than these few images we've got here in our references, but it looks like the Dash 2M at least would have had some form of a gun sight, especially since it lacks that radar scope. So what we're going to do is we're going to use whatever pictures we can find, and we're going to attempt to scratch build something that at least looks passable to what we have here in our references. In the other book, we do have some form of like a projector or something just kind of tucked in the top of that instrument panel. Again, I don't know if that's going to be the same on every single version. Since ours is a 2M, we lack that radar scope, so we might have a different gun sight. I don't really know, to be honest. But let's go ahead and jump into our first time lapse. I'm going to start off sorting through all of my clear parts. Maybe I can find a gun sight that will work, that we can use as a model. If not, well, we'll see what we can do. We also have to get in on those seatbelts, make those out of Tamiya tape and wire, and then do some basic cockpit weathering and see where we go from there. So let's go ahead and jump in there, guys. Lots of work to do. Let's have some fun. Alright everybody, so we are back, and this is as our cockpit is standing right now. We've got our seat of course glued in, everything is painted. We've got some weathering washes here by Vallejo. We just went ahead and went over that. Just add a little bit of dirt and grime at different places. You're probably not going to see much of it, but it is what it is. And of course, we've got our seatbelts added in there with Tamiya tape and very thin wire. I also used some Tamiya panel-lined accent just to go ahead and dot it around and add a little bit of extra shadow to some of the areas. And I think it looks pretty good. It's not perfect, mind you, but it's good for me. But we're going to go ahead and start in here on the cockpit assembly. We have a lot to do here. Got to get our sidewalls in as well as our rear bulkhead and the front windscreen along with the instrument panel. All of that needs to be built up. So let's go ahead and jump back on in there. Plus I want to go ahead and add in some nose weight, get everything tacked together, glued into place, and well, we'll see how that goes. So fingers crossed, let's keep this party rolling. All right, everybody. So we are back, and after quite a bit of time, what we have here is a completed nose of our F3H Demon. We have a lot of nose weight in here, guys, because I've heard that this is a very, very heavy aircraft, and it does tend to sit on its tail. So I tried to put in a lot of nose weight using some copper BBs and super glue, and I think we were on the right track. We also went ahead and added in some of the extra parts and pieces like the nose wheel bay, as well as all the little splitter intakes and whatnot. And when we go ahead and attach this into the side of the fuselage, it doesn't actually go very easily, but once you kind of get it finagled in there, you can get kind of an idea of what this looks like. And it looks pretty cool. I gotta be honest, it's a very unique design, this Demon. Let's go ahead and show you guys some of the details. We did have to add in a little strip of styrene at the very front nose area here, and we added in some extra parts and pieces along with some wires, which I'll dry brush to make those pop. Everything else is nicely attached, and yeah, our gun sight is in there as well. I just ended up using a very tiny brass tube, went ahead and filled it with some clear resin, and yeah, the cockpit itself went in beautifully. I made our seatbelts, as you can see there. I always promise myself I'm not going to make seatbelts because they're so tedious, but then I end up making them anyway. So what are you going to do? Instrument panel right in there. As you can see, we have our blank off plate for where our radar scope would have gone, but because this is a 2M, you're supposed to not have one. So yeah, remove that. I think it looks pretty good. Also dotted each instrument gauge with a little bit of future just to make it a tiny bit glossy. And as you can see, once we have our fuselage all tacked in together, we're going to have our splitter plates that are going to be very visible. We also have our cockpit that kind of sits above the aircraft, kind of in an odd direction. These gun panels will probably be an issue, and we do have a bit of a seam issue down here at the bottom of the fuselage, but I'm hoping I can do some clever sanding and we'll be able to minimize that. If not, we'll have to backfill it with some super glue or maybe some styrene. But that's going to do it for us today, guys. As you can see, we've got our cockpit nicely assembled, painted, glued in there. We are looking sharp. We've got the entire nose glued together, splitter plates in. We've got our front nose gear bay in as well. And then lots and lots of weight to get this thing up on its legs. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Next episode, we'll come on back and I'm going to try to go ahead and get this tacked into the fuselage, get the fuselage put together, and tackle that rear engine nozzle. Make sure that is in the correct angle. But until then, guys, you know the drill. Go out there, get yourself some bench time, have some fun, build something cool, and we'll see you back here on episode number 5 for more of our Hobby Boss F3H-2 Demon. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.